Hermes pieces command more after you've bought them. Chanel pieces don't. Where there are criminals that walk around Harrods posing as customers, and they are looking for people that look like they've got money. Hey everyone, welcome to the start of another video. So I've got notes. We're going to be talking about, should you skip, buy or completely avoid the bags in question that I'm going to talk about. So now's a weird time, I think, when it comes to luxury. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of us thinking twice about whether we buy things for whatever reason. And if you are looking to buy something, maybe your first bag or maybe your millionth bag, I want to go through some things that I'm thinking about certain brands and certain bags, and whether you should buy, skip or avoid completely. So we're going to go through that. Before I do, a quick mention to let you know that if you enjoyed the last handbag sale I did with Luxury Promise, we're going to do another one, and it's this coming Friday, which is the 19th of July 2024. It's going to be at 5 p.m. BST, so British summertime. It's going to be after work, but there's going to be so many bags up for sale, from Chanel to Hermes to just everything. So it's going to be a 4-hour show. So if you are in the UK and you're like, great, I finish at 5 but I'm not going to be home until 7, don't worry, come in and join when you can. It's going to go on until about 9 o'clock at night, so very good there. But let's talk about the first. Okay, so bags that I think you should skip for now. And the first, and I can't do this video without talking about Dior, because Dior is a brand that I have always recommended, and I really like their quality. I love their elegant, classy, timeless designs. I love their customer service. There's so much that I love about the brand, but as we all know, with the scandals that have gone on recently, it's kind of put a question mark over the brand for me, because a lot of you said, will I be wearing my stuff still? And I don't think that I would feel comfortable wearing it until the verdict is out. So talking about Dior, the first is that I would say to skip for now is any bag from Dior, unless you're somebody who doesn't care. Now, I always say you do you. My opinions, beliefs, ethics will be different to someone else's, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you love Dior and if you want to carry on wearing it and if you want to carry on buying it, you do you. But if you are someone who's kind of thinking, ooh, you know, I was saving up for a Lady Dior, let's say, but now I'm not so sure, I would say skip it for now. I wouldn't say totally avoid, because as I say, the allegations are alleged, and give it a year. Let's find out what goes on with that investigation, and then I think we'll all be in a better place to judge how we all feel about Dior. And you know, I really hope that it comes through and it's all good, because I love that brand and I am really missing at the moment wearing and enjoying the pieces that I have from there, clothing included. The second that I would say to skip is Saint Laurent. Now, I have a Saint Laurent bag just up there. I would say to skip this brand for now, because, well, it was borderline skip or buy for me, because they have reduced a lot of their prices on some of the more popular bags. But if you are somebody who doesn't want to lose any money, this is why I say skip Saint Laurent. Because when, and I want to say skip it brand new, but don't necessarily skip it when it comes to pre-loved. It is not a brand that holds its money particularly well. And for any of you, I know that for some of you that's quite an important thing. It definitely is for me. I've definitely bought bags before that are trend pieces and drop like a stone when it comes to what they're worth after I've bought them. But if you want to buy something and be safe in the knowledge that if you ever get into financial difficulties in your life that you can sell it and get your money back, Saint Laurent is not the one. Avoid. Bags to avoid altogether. The first is contentious, and it's one that I've spoken about before, but when I was thinking about this, I thought, yeah, it is one that I would avoid, but I'd avoid it new, and it's the Chanel Classic Flat. I know it's iconic, I know it's never going to date, I know it's like a great one to buy, but let me explain myself. I would say to avoid it in terms of buying new. I wouldn't say to avoid it in terms of buying pre-loved or second-hand or nearly new. Do you know why I'm saying to avoid it? Is a couple of reasons. First of all, depending on where you live actually, it's, in my opinion, a safety risk. I've got several Chanel classic flaps and I don't necessarily feel safe carrying them now unless I'm in like going to a restaurant or somewhere where I know it's going to be fine and good. Like if I'm walking around London, I don't know how I would feel about carrying one. You know, people get marked. So when you get marked, like I don't want to scare anyone, but this is a thing. Like I saw a program on it where it happens to people in Harrods, where there are criminals that walk around Harrods posing as customers, and they are looking for people that look like they've got money. They're looking for people that might be wearing the watch, carrying a bag. They might be watching someone who's just got out of an expensive car, and they will follow that person round the store, follow them back to their car or back to where they live, or even just outside the store in the streets, and they rob them. And I always worry about this with the Chanel classic flap because it is so iconic. Even somebody who doesn't know much about bags would look at that bag and know what it is. They might not know how much it is, but they would know that's Chanel. And for that reason, it makes me nervous. The other thing is, when it comes to the value of them, they're now incredibly expensive. And in my opinion, they're more expensive than they are worth. If you go and look pre-loved is a really great yardstick, I feel, for how much things are truly worth. And if you go and look at Chanel pre-loved, you can make a really decent saving now. And that saving can be anything from as small as £500 to as large as 40%. I've seen it myself. Go on to Vestiaire Collective, look up Chanel Classic Flap, scroll to the bottom of the page to see the items that have sold and what they've really sold for and when they sold, and it will give you a good idea of how much the classic flap, how much people are willing to pay for it right now. You know, I think that Chanel was hoping that they could become like an Hermes, where the value of those pieces would become so great that people would spend the money. But I think the problem with Chanel versus Hermes is that Hermes pieces command more after you've bought them. Chanel pieces don't, and I think that's the difference here. The next brand that you absolutely have to avoid, and it's, surprise, surprise, Balenciaga. After what they did in 2022, is anyone still buying from there? I'm sure some of you are, like, let me know if you are, but I think for a lot of people got turned off the brand. And if you aren't familiar with what they did in December 2022, I think it was December, maybe November, I would urge you to do, like, just do a bit of research, because if you're somebody who's new to luxury, you're looking to buy your first bag and that bag is Balenciaga, be really careful before you go and buy it, because you might find out what they did and then think, great, I've spent all of my hard-earned money on this bag, don't feel comfortable wearing it, don't really want to wear it, can't return it, and you're stuffed. And also, Balenciaga really does not hold its value. It didn't before, but it definitely doesn't now. Okay, let's move on to buy. I actually have more items in the buy category than I do in any of the other categories. The first has got to be bags from Cartier. Cartier, when you think about it, you think fine jewellery. You don't think leather goods. But I almost don't even want to tell you about this because I don't want their prices to go up, because there is a bag I've got my eye on. But when it comes to their pieces, you can get really good quality. Like, I've got one of their wallets and the quality is excellent. You can get really good quality at a good price. Considering the brand name, because I feel like because they're less known for leather goods, handbags, etc., they're not charging as much for those pieces as, say, another brand would. So go and check them out. Really, really worth it. They've got some gorgeous pieces. There is a bag that looks quite like the Constance that I'm interested in. I'll put a picture of it in here. But yeah, really good brand. Pre-loved Chanel. No one made bags quite like Chanel did back in the day. And I realised that that flat quilting that you get on vintage pieces is not for everyone. For me personally, I really like it. I think it's quite cute. I almost prefer it to the puffy quilting that you can get on the newer bags, but that's just me, that's what I think. But if you go and look at Pre-Loved Chanel, you're going to get the 24 karat gold gilding on the hardware. The leather back then, there's something about it. The quality is excellent, the flaps line up, the quilting lines up. I feel like you're giving new life to a bag that had a life before you. And I also always think, like, I've got a bag that's from 1988 or 89, and I look at it and I just imagine the kind of person that could have afforded all those years ago to walk into Chanel and buy that bag, because those, you know, back in the 80s, I bet luxury was true luxury back then. I don't think it's like it is now, where it feels a lot more accessible to a lot more of us. Celine is another one that I really recommend, and actually they also have a bag that looks quite like the Hermes Constance, which I really like, which is probably why I like it, because it looks similar. I think it's the Triomphe bag. You know, the flat bag, kind of like a satchel design. Celine bags, when I've been up close and personal, are very well made, and I really like the look of the hardware. I like their designs. Their designs are all very timeless, and this is another reason why I really recommend Celine, because their prices for what you get aren't as steep as some other brands, and you're getting leather. Like, for a lot of their prices with other brands, you'd be looking at canvas. And now I couldn't move on without talking about Fendi and Gucci. Fendi, do you know something? You can get a lot of bag for the money from them. Under 2k, under £1,900. They haven't just got one or two bags in that category, they've actually got quite a few. So if you are looking to get a designer branded bag and that's your kind of budget, then go and check them out. Now the same thing goes for Gucci. You can get a lot in Gucci for the money. I've got the Jackie bag, and I bought it a couple of months ago. I vlogged when I bought it, so some of you might have seen that vlog. But it's like a beautiful lipstick pink colour, and it's patent leather. It's absolutely stunning. And that was just a bit over £2,000, which for a bag that size, and it's got that history, it's heritage, it's long-standing, I feel like it's quite a good price. But they also have some really cute canvas pieces that are under 2k. In fact, look at this. Again, I almost don't want to show this because I don't want the price to go up. But this bag, I'm looking to get this bag. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's so cute. I just love how it looks. So there we go. Skip, avoid, buy. Let me know what you think. Do you think I missed anything out? Do you disagree with anything? Do you agree with anything? Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.